Welcome back to this episode of Inside RIC Athletics. I'm Andrew McCarthy, and to my left, I am joined by junior thrower of the women's track and field team from Cranston, Rhode Island, Samantha Sainristil. Samantha, thanks for joining us today.
Hey.
This past weekend, you were at the John Thomas Terrier Classic, hosted by Boston University. You finished top 15 in the weight throw, but just take me back to the weekend. How was it? You faced a lot of Division II, Division I programs, and you still were able to hang with them, some of the best track and field athletes in the country. So just how did it feel over this past weekend?
Well, if you ask me, I think I did decent, but if you ask other people, everyone would say I did good. For shot, I obviously placed higher and I PR'd, so I'm proud of my shot. I'm just proud of how I did in shot. For weight, like I said, other people would say I did good. I don't think I did good. Yes, I did place top 15. Usually at D1 meets, it's not hard for me to compete at that level because I know I'm strong, so I know that I'll be up there. But this weekend for weight, it just wasn't it. But I mean, I was close to my PR, so that's fine.
For some of our viewers that may not know the difference between shot put and weight throw, what is the difference between the two?
It's hard to explain, but shot put is like you're just holding a little ball and you throw it. For weight, it's a ball, but it's attached to I wouldn't say a string, but it's attached to a piece to a handle.
Kind of like a hammer throw.
Yeah, it's like hammer, but just smaller, very small.
So one of the things with mainly track as a sport is your season is a little bit long. It is divided into indoor and outdoor, but for all intents and purposes, it's essentially one gigantic long season, starting essentially in late December and going all the way till essentially May when the outdoor season finishes up. What's that like, knowing that you have such a long season? What's the transition like going from indoor to outdoor? We're in the midst of the winter season right now, but you only have a couple meets left. I believe this Friday, by the time this interview comes out, you'll be at the Coast Guard Invitational, and then the one after that is the Little East Championship. So how does it feel knowing that the indoor season is winding down and the outdoor season is just around the corner?
So basically towards the end of the indoor season going into outdoor, at that point it's just people that qualify for meets. So I know I'm going to have a pretty long season. So I basically jumped from indoor to outdoor. It's not like high school where they gave us a week break. We literally jump into outdoor. If you don't qualify for any meets for indoor, you start throwing outdoor stuff. So
the season is essentially an entire 5 months long, essentially, if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of preparing mentally because right now the season's going well, so it's just you have to prepare for that, and you just have to be ready for your body to hurt a lot for a very long time, but I think it's worth it.
So since you said that your season goes on a little longer, especially for indoor, because you qualify those meets, what's the jump like going from that early March when you have all these regional and perhaps even national meets, and then all the way essentially restarting again in late March when the outdoor season gets underway and you have some of these exhibition meets and you kind of just, I don't want to say restart, but I guess the intensity isn't really there as something like a regional meet.
For me, it's kind of hard. I do a lot better. I feel like I do a lot better in indoor than outdoor. So putting down the weight and picking up the hammer, it's two different things for me because obviously we do the same thing, but the technique has to change a little bit because you're holding a lighter ball and it's everything. Starting back from the start, my PRs from outdoor are a little, if you compare, you don't have to compare it to indoor because that's impossible, but they're just not what I think they should be at. But again, I'm just a perfectionist, so I want to do better. Everyone else is like, oh, Sam, you're doing really good. But it's just I prepare mentally mostly because I know that it's going to be a weird jump from indoor to outdoor anyway.
It's always good to have that mentality, that perfectionist mentality. That way you always have something to chase. You always have a reason to want to improve. But the next question I want to segue into is this new track and field facility that Rhode Island College just built. Have you seen it yet? Have you guys been able to practice on it yet? I know it's not entirely finished yet. It won't be really ready until the outdoor season, but even if you haven't stepped on it, are you excited for it? What are you most looking forward to with it?
So we actually started practicing on it like when they were still building it, but the track was on, so we were able to run on the track. I think it feels better than the last track, but then again, I wasn't at the other track that much. But it feels nice. It looks pretty good. It's right next to the throwing circle. So the throwers still need to get used to that because the runners are like right there. I like running on the track, but I feel bad for the runners because they have to run a lot. But I'm not a runner, so
pays to be a thrower sometimes. So earlier this year, you had the Beacon season opener that was hosted by UMass Boston, and then New England regional meet later on down the line is hosted at the track at New Balance. New Balance headquarters right by the Warrior Ice Arena, just outside of Boston. Must be an incredible facility. What was it like going out there, traveling with the team out there, and going to this pristine facility out there?
So the track at New Balance, they have a really great track from what it looks like. The throwing area is, if you've looked at the circle, it's on a basketball court. But, yeah, it's
a little left to be desired in that department.
Yeah, it's like field was forgotten.
You can definitely tell they had runners primarily in mind there.
Yeah, like they have a practice track and the big actual track. The track looks really cool. The throwing facility, they upgraded the boards, I guess. Last year was just wood. This year was painted. It was still slippery, so everyone was still slipping. But, they upgraded, so that's a plus. I do remember at the meet, that meet, I did pretty well at, so I don't know, I like throwing there even though we are the forgotten children.
I think that's all the time we have for today, Samantha. Thank you for coming in today. Best of luck down the line when you get into the Little East Championship and regional meet, rest of the indoor season, and then into the outdoor season.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Inside RIC Athletics. My name is Andrew McCarthy, joined by Samantha Sainristil, and we hope to see you next time.